Weight often leads people to quick and popular solutions. Now, getting regular injections has gained epic momentum, and getting these shots has moved from something only for the wealthy and famous to finding their way into the mainstream for many. So today we dive into the uncharted territory of weight loss injections and the potential risks. Let's go on the record.
From WPBF 25, this is On the Record with Todd McDermott.
Drugs initially approved to treat type 2 diabetes, such as Ozempic and Wegovy, are now being widely used for weight loss. This morning, we are going to hear the explanation of how they work, the side effects, and any possible risks. Here to go on the record with me is Dr. Abraham Betancourt from Good Samaritan Medical Center in West Palm Beach. Doctor, thanks for being here.
Thank you for the invitation.
Let's talk first about these weight loss drugs. They both contain the same ingredient, semaglutide. Is there a difference between the drugs, or is it just brand name?
One is brand name, and the second most important or different is the dose. Is pretty much the same medication with different dosing and price.
Let's talk about the dosage, because it is a regular dose that you take for either one?
Well, there is it's a guideline or a protocol. You usually tend to start the patient on the lowest dose and assess the patient, depends on the practice, but usually every 2 weeks to assess the response, side effects, weight loss, and then incrementally you increase the medication every 2 weeks or so.
All right, as this goes, I know a lot of people have questions about this. As it progresses, what do you see in the patient, the positives, what's happening?
I will be honest, we're living good time for patients suffering with obesity or suffering with this disease, because now we have a bigger armamentarium of resources. We have surgery, we have endoscopic procedures, and now we have this new medication, which definitely helps. But like every medication have to be used with in a team that comprehensively assess the patient and is familiar with the side effects and risks, and more importantly, the right indication for the patient.
Before I talk about the side effects and the risks, let's talk about who this is for. Who's primarily going to benefit the most from taking either one of these injections?
All right, we need to just understand that this medication, where I would say discover or by default like Viagra, they were intended to treat diabetes, and then when they saw the results, they saw that also the patients they lost weight. So initially were approved for patients with diabetes type 2. Now they're approved for weight loss.
So we knew they were safe going in, and you saw
the
this
first
benefit?
medication, which was Ozempic, was approved in 2017. The newest one has been approved in 2020, 2021, I believe. But yes, they're safe. They have been around for a while. The fact that they just recently found out that weight loss was like the boom of make the medication more, make the people know more about the medication.
And a lot of people want it, that's for sure.
For sure.
So even though it's been approved for years for type 2 diabetes, now it's being administered in this way for weight loss. What are we seeing as far as side effects, and do we even know if there are any risks?
So, since they start using massively, because obesity is one of the most prominent disease in the United States. We're going to start seeing this medication be used more often and broadly in the population, right? We're going to start seeing the side effects being more common. Who benefit from this medication? And then this is when we need to assess the patient, because we need to understand the patient's preference, the patient goals, and then you decide which patient benefit from just the medication and surgery, just surgery, and then after medication. We need to understand that now we are addressing obesity somehow like cancer. In which sense? For a patient with cancer, we have chemotherapy, radiation, surgery. Chemotherapy and radiation can be given before or after surgery. So obesity is the same. It's a complex disease that benefit with all these resources. The problem is patient selection, and be sure that we're doing the right indication of any of these tools that we have now to treat the patient.
But again, side effects. What can people expect that might be a downside?
So what we know now, very well known, gastrointestinal issues, mainly something called gastroparesis, which is pretty much a slowdown of the motility or the function of the stomach, which actually is how they work to lose weight, because they slow down your GI tract, gastrointestinal tract. The patient feels full, and that's why appetite decreases. One of the grossly how that works. But then we have seen patients with bowel obstruction. We have seen patients with gastroparesis, nausea, vomiting. The most severe complication is, even though it's not the most common, is pancreatitis. When they test the medication on labs, and they saw that it's a slightly risk of increase of thyroid cancer. I'm not aware that is any data that shows that in human. I haven't seen a patient. But we have to be cautious and interrogate that medical history of the patient, any family history of thyroid cancer. Recently, actually this week, there was a concern of increase of pancreatic cancer. There is no proof or any data that suggests that there is an increased risk factor for pancreatic cancer, but definitely it's a increased risk of having pancreatitis, which is inflammation of the pancreas. That is a severe disease that 30% of get severe complication and even death.
I have one more question for you if we get to very quickly, and that is, have you had patients turn down the use of either of these drugs because of those possible side effects?
Yes, yes. If you're asking if you are a patient that refuse or
Yes.
decide, once you disclose, the problem with this is, I'm not saying that the medications are effective. They have a role in the treatment of the disease, but when you lay out side effects, costs, because even though it has been approved for weight loss, the insurance company is still not covering if the patient is not diabetic. You have to be diabetic and suffering from obesity to approve and cover the medication. Otherwise, it's very expensive. That can go from $900 to $1,000 a month. So when you put everything in perspective, side effect, cost, benefit, patients, I have patients that they don't want to. And by the way, we now know that the patient who respond to the medication most likely need to be on the medication for the rest of their life. Like if you are diabetic or high blood pressure, you need to be on the medication for that.
Right, that's important for people to know.
to know.
I'm out of time for now. Dr. Betancourt, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For going on the record. We appreciate it. We have much more to talk about. Next, we talk with a local woman who's ready to share her own weight loss journey with us. So On the Record returns.
Nobody loves where they came from more than me, Boston Rob, and I'm back for a new season. This is my backyard, and I can't wait to share it with you.
Boston Rob does Beantown and beyond. Stream for free on Very Local. Find limited time deals right now at City Furniture's President's Day sale with up to 20% off plus free shipping on the best selection of leading styles. City Furniture. Visit us in store or online. In Florida, hurricanes are a part of life. That's why over 100,000 Floridians have made StormSmart a part of theirs. Our Category 5 storm catcher screens, shutters, and high-impact windows are designed to help protect your home from hurricane winds, rain, and airborne debris. In fact, StormSmart can protect every opening in your home. If you live in Florida, extreme weather is a part of life, but for year-round storm protection, you can count on StormSmart. Call 866-60-SMART today for your free in-home consultation.
When a rookie stunt driver meets the trainer who thought he'd seen it all.
Again.
There's bound to be action. But this is no ordinary blockbuster. It's a Nissan sales event ad. Don't miss your chance to drive away in a new Nissan.
Let's roll.
Get a low $279 per month lease or get 0% financing for 36 months on Altima SRBC Turbo.
Act fast. Offers this good won't stick around.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can it keep me warm when I'm cold?
Wait, no, I'm always hot.
Sleep Number does that.
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Sleep Number does that.
Can I help us sleep better and better?
Please.
Sleep Number does that. 94% of smart sleepers report better sleep. Now, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base.
You're watching On the Record on WPBF 25.
We're back with Dr. Eduardo Parra de Villa and his patient, Lori Lehman. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you coming in. Lori, we're here to hear your story. We know that you decided against injections, you had bariatric surgery. Can you tell me a little bit about the surgery itself? Like when and...
I had surgery in May of 2022. And we decided to do the gastric sleeve surgery.
And how did you make that decision to do the surgery? What influenced you the most to do that?
I had some medical issues like diabetes, sleep apnea, and some other medical issues. So I just decided to do it.
And now that you're more than a year, almost 2 years past,
yes.
How has it been for you? What has been the outcome for you?
I no longer have sleep apnea and I no longer have diabetes.
It's two amazing
yes.
byproducts of that. And doctor, why was the surgery the right thing for Lori?
Well, when she came to our office, we have several discussions. The choices of between medical management with injections versus surgery. At that time, this is early 2022. It wasn't as popular, it wasn't as known as it is now. So questions that the patients have, like Lori said, what are my implications long term? We don't have that answers yet. So what is it? Is it going to be covered by insurance or not? Those days where patients were having some issues having the medications covered by insurance also. And the other part is Lori wanted to have more than just 20% or so of her weight loss, of her percentage of weight loss. That's more or less where the medications are. If you look at Lori today, she went from a BMI of 41 to a BMI of 21. That's close to 50% of her weight loss.
How much weight did you actually lose?
Between 130, 135 pounds.
It's fantastic. And we're looking at the photos and we see the drastic change for you. Tell people about your life change after this surgery.
You can wear cuter clothes.
Which is, for a lot of people, is the most important thing anyway, right?
Right. I still have some medical stuff that I have to take care of structurally, but it's going to make it easier for the recovery for those surgeries, being thinner.
What about your just day-to-day life? What did you find after you had completed recovery from the surgery?
I was in less pain than I was before.
And just overall, you feel better?
Yes.
And doctor, this was right for her. You mentioned paying for it, insurance coverage, et cetera. Are there other reasons why this might be a more advantageous avenue for someone to lose weight as opposed to the injections?
I think there's, if you asked me that question 2 years ago, it would be a different answer that we have today. Mm-hmm. Today, I think there's more evidence, and some of the drugs are being FDA approved for this type of weight loss besides diabetes. So I think if you ask me today that question, I think it will be a combination between medications and surgery, a combination of both to get a better outcome. Depends on the goals of the patient. I says, if Lori, you tell them you're gonna lose 20% of your weight, she's gonna tell 20%. And again, if you tell her you're gonna lose 50% and it's a known for many years with a known complications and a known results, and that's why a lot of patients go to a surgery. So I think you have to ask the patient, what are the goals and how much weight loss do they want to accomplish?
So Lori, now we're sitting here today, as I said, almost 2 years later.
Yes.
Any regrets, any way that this surgery fell short for you? Was it the right thing to do?
Yes, it was the right thing to do. I wish I would have done it earlier in my life. However, I don't know if I would have been mentally prepared for the stuff you have to go through when you have the surgery.
Well, you look great, and
I
hope you feel so much better.
Thank you, I do.
And I know the doctor is happy that you came to him. Thank you both for sharing this story with us.
Thank you.
Really and I have one last message. I think for those patients that are out there that are afraid, to make a commitment to this type of a procedure. I think if you look at it, the safeness, the provenness of outcomes, and how it can change your life, I think it's something to, get a professional consultation and see what options you have. You have medications and you have surgery. And, if we look at it, about 2/3 of our population are obese. So we're having a crisis in what we call in U.S. with obesity. So I encourage you to seek professional help, and there's help for you to be taken care of.
That's why the doctors are out there. Thank you both again for joining us for On the Record.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to talk with a local dietitian about what you need to do to make sure all the weight you lose stays off forever.
A Marzo roof is the last roof you'll ever need. With our year-end sales spectacular, call by Wednesday and get up to $1,000 off. Make it easy with the Marzo Done Right Guarantee. The best warranty and a 24-hour callback. Marzo is roofing done right for over 30 years.
Injured, hire the largest injury firm in the world. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
What's my safe light story? I'm a photographer, and when I'm driving, I see inspiration right through my glass. So when my windshield cracked, it had to be fixed right. I scheduled with Safelite Auto Glass. Their experts replaced my windshield and recalibrated my car's advanced safety system. Safelite is the one I trust. They focus on safety, so I can focus on this view.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
If you're looking for the yard of your dreams, look no further than Moon Valley Nurseries. America's largest box tree grower is now open in Riviera Beach. Here, you'll find a wide assortment of mature trees and hedges. Our courteous and knowledgeable team will assist you from planning to planting. Create a yard that ensures privacy and a place your family will love. Benefit from our stress-free white glove service and take advantage of our weather protection plans. From small projects to complete yard transformations, we've got what you're looking for. Come see us today.
On Medicare? Have diabetes? When enjoying life's special moments, are you left guessing which foods are right for you? With the Freestyle Libre 3 system, you'll know your glucose and where it's headed. No finger sticks needed. Freestyle Libre 3. Manage your diabetes with more confidence and lower your A1C so you can focus on those special moments. Now covered by Medicare for more people managing diabetes with insulin. Talk to your provider or visit freestylelibre.us/Medicare.
Tickets on sale now for the Donald M. Ephraim Sun and Stars International Film Festival, held February 27th through March 11th.
A Marzo roof is the last roof you'll ever need. With our year-end sales spectacular, call by Wednesday and get up to $1,000 off. Make it easy with the Marzo Done Right Guarantee. The best warranty and a 24-hour callback. Marzo is roofing done right for over 30 years.
Welcome back. I'm joined now by Samantha Barone. She's a bariatric dietitian, board certified in obesity, weight management at Delray Medical Center. Question one, better tell us what you do, what a bariatric dietitian is.
Oh, it's wonderful, first of all.
Okay.
I get to work with all of our patients before surgery, so I am educating them with their nutrition. I get them best prepared for the surgery process. I work with them while they're in the hospital, and then I also meet with them multiple times throughout that critical first 6 months to a year after surgery. We're kind of laying that foundation of good, proper nutrition so that they know how to take care of themselves for the rest of their lives. I also lead monthly support group meetings and quarterly group meetings for all of our people who are past that first year after surgery. So we are a center of excellence in bariatrics, and we really pay attention to our people for life.
So what are you seeing? Let's talk first about the before, as people get ready. What do they go through, and what are you advising them as far as diet and preparation?
As far as diet goes, we're really kind of just starting to sort of taste, and test the waters of the bariatric food behavior. So there are a lot of things that are a little bit unique to bariatric patients in how they're eating. So not even necessarily exactly what they're eating, but how they're eating. And that's really what I like to focus on because those are the tools that they're going to take for the rest of their lives.
And Can other people take some, since you're a dietitian, there are people watching who may not be considering the surgery at this point, but I'm sure they'd like to hear some of the broad stroke advice you have for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I think probably the most important thing is to think long term. So everybody, you know, we want that Amazon Prime same day delivery results
in
everything. And unfortunately, with our health, it just doesn't work that way. So we really want to think long term in terms of what we're doing and how we're setting ourselves up for success. So whether it's, you know, clinically or in private practice, we're always focused on that long term and how we can lay the foundation for overall healthy lifestyle. And you know, the cool part about that is as we're doing that, then the weight does come off and then you're able to maintain it because now it's just part of your life and you didn't go on any kind of temporary fad diet, because temporary diets yield temporary results. And so I would really say think long term.
Let's talk about life, because you didn't get all your information out of a book. You actually had this surgery. That was many years ago. Talk about your own journey, your decision to do that, and what it's been like since.
It's been incredible, full of a lot of highs and, you know, of course, some lows. It's been a journey, and I would not trade it for anything in this world. I would say, you know, 17 years ago at nearly 400 pounds, I was not truly living life, and today I get to wake up and actually help people who are in the same pain that I was once in. I get to give them hope and really show them that you can change your life for the better. You can live a healthy lifestyle. So it's been absolutely incredible.
Can you think back 17 years later to that decision you made to actually do this? And obviously it was momentous for your life. Did you have hesitations? Was there a point where you said, I don't think I can do this, or were you just full speed ahead?
Back then, there were certainly hesitations because I didn't fully understand or grasp it. But I think that I was so ready for change that it didn't matter. And I did just go kind of full steam ahead.
And I'd love to know, based on your own perspective, but also the folks you work with after the surgery, what do you see in people who are dealing with this, the recovery, but then the new life that they're leading in many, many ways? What are the experiences like?
Gosh, well, we could talk for days about all of that.
Well, I have about a minute. If you could whittle it down to a minute, that would be great.
There are so many different things that come about it, but I think that truly the quality of life in every way is improved. And honestly, not even just for bariatric patients, but for people in general, when you're really prioritizing your health and you're paying attention to how you're nourishing and treating your body, every aspect of life gets better. We are more productive at work. We are happier, healthier people. We have more joy in our lives, and everything just slowly improves over the course of that journey.
And you are certainly a sign of that. Samantha Barone, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for going on the record with us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
WPBF 25 celebrates Black History Month.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it happen, girl.
Try dietary supplements from Voltaren for healthy joints.
When a rookie stunt driver meets the trainer who thought he'd seen it all.
Again.
There's bound to be action. But this is no ordinary blockbuster. It's a Nissan sales event ad. Don't miss your chance to drive away in a new Nissan.
Let's roll.
Get a low $299 per month lease or get 1.9% financing for 60 months on the 2023 Nissan Rogue.
Act fast. Offers this good won't stick around.
There are a few places where you know you'll hear the truth. And this is one of them.
With HealthSun Health Plans, life is a piece of cake with access to exclusive providers that take care of all my medical needs, and all under the same roof.
It's like a Medicare makeover. With HealthSun, every year you can receive $1,978 back in your Social Security check, $600 for OTC items, and much more. Take it from me. I'm Mr. Sunshine. Call us today to learn more about our benefits.
I'm Jerry. I smoked,
and I have late-stage COPD. I'm hoping to get on the lung transplant list, but I don't know if I'll be accepted in time. My children are really worried. My tip is, every morning, give your kids a call or send them a text. It may be the last time that you do.
Tobacco Free Florida offers free nicotine replacement therapy to help start your quit journey. Call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW.
I'm Jill Hazy.
And I'm Erin Burns.
We invite you to join us this Sunday for Total Retirement with Ernie Burns, where we'll discuss wealth management, estate planning, and more.
Ernie was named 2022's Forbes Best In-State Security Professional. You don't want to miss it.
It's halftime. Time to open the fridge.
I'm not sure why I'm showing you this.
The cabinets and the pantry.
Okay, and here you've got plenty of storage for snacks or expired stuff.
And show how much space you have in your kitchen. Selling your home to Open Door is so easy. You can do it during halftime.
Keep an eye on this one a bit. Oh yeah, it's not like I'm selling the house or anything.
Sign up for a halftime showing at opendoor.com.
Thank you for making this part of your morning today. As always, we encourage you to be part of our discussion each and every Sunday right here at 10 a.m. Until then, you can watch this morning's On the Record episode and every episode on our website, WPBF.com, and on our free WPBF 25 News app. Matter of Fact with Soledad O'Brien is next. Hope you have a great Sunday. We'll see you again next week.